Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, we got Fox Business talking about a big victory for Ripple, and we got a even bigger victory for crypto coming in. We're talking about Michael S. Barr, that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen. Everything we're talking about here today. It is $926 billion market cap for crypto. We're up 1.9% at the time of making this video. Hey, don't forget, you can follow us on TikTok for exclusive content there. And it is Digital Perspectives, no spaces. Take a look at this. Bitcoin, 19,900 plus. Ethereum, 1,000 plus right now. XRP at the number 7 spot is 32 cents. We're up 3.4% on a 24-hour. Take a look at the range really quickly before we get started here, ladies and gentlemen. It is, drum roll, pow. Let's see it. It is 30 cents on the bottom, 32 cents on the top. We will certainly keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at this. Judge Netburn commented that the SEC lawyers have shown a lack of faithful allegiance to the law. But it is so much worse than that, says John Deaton. SEC lawyers are making up the law in order to satisfy Gary Gensler's political desire to regulate a new evolving asset class. That's so well said right there, ladies and gentlemen. And listen to me. This is the way I'm thinking. Because of this case and the suppression of this case, I'm looking at different things I can get into. You guys know that. You know, I work with Link2. I love being a customer with Link2. If you're an accredited investor right now, you can get Ripple. Look, they got the minimum drop from 10,000 to 5,000 right there. Now, listen, this is important too. If you're already a member of Link2, make sure you click the link underneath my video as well to make sure you get the credit for whatever special deals going on and the whole bit of it. So make sure you use that link underneath the video, even if you're already a member of Link2. Make sure you check that out. Now, let's take a look at this. This story is getting very big, ladies and gentlemen, and it is who the real Satoshi is. Special Agent Rana Sayad, I guess it's Sayad, however you say her name, and I apologize if I just train wrecked it. Assistant Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations reveals in this video, and I'll play this clip really quickly.
Talk to him and we have some money. Why don't we send him? Let's find out how this works. So as it came to be, the agents flew out to California and they realized that he wasn't alone in creating this. There were 3 other people.
So the real Satoshi was tracked down by the Homeland Security and interviewed, and it's 4 people in total, they said. And the SEC was at this conference, yet the SEC, no matter who has been the chair, denies knowing who Satoshi is. Something is afoul here, ladies and gentlemen. And the CFTC claims the same thing, but it's public knowledge inside of Homeland Security, and they didn't share this information? I hardly think so. Eleanor Terrett hardly thinks so, I bet you too. She says, this is definitely worth digging into. Next project, Charles Gasparino? I think so. I tell you, I see one of the largest financial stories, if not the largest financial story in the world right there. We will keep an eye on it, and I hope that they actually follow up on that and get the go-ahead on that. I really, really do. Could be a huge story. It's super convincing argument, says a dingo ate my XRP. He says it's a super convincing argument that XRP can never go higher than $1. Now, we have been this over this many times. And only a few of you will understand that reference if you're old enough. And I love using it. But nevertheless, I want to bring this up because whoever wrote this must not be in this space very long, because we've already had a $3.80 plus cent XRP. So that's out. Right? Just, what was it, last May of 21 or 20, we had a $1.92 XRP. You know, where are these people coming from? Nevertheless, this person here, no names are left to, says no need for insults, Benny. Here's some math. She says 48 billion circulating supply times 17,280 number of times each XRP can be used per day based on a 5-second transaction speed equals 831 T. So at $1 XRP, it could cover up to 831 T volume. And it says, for perspective, Swift does 5 a day, your turn, Benny. So this is Laura shooting it all down when in the thread jumps the one and only David Schwartz. I think the thing that's missing in that analysis is the most or more useful, fast, cheap, liquid, connected a token is for payments. The more people who might need to make a payment or might want to get paid to facilitate other people's payments will want to hold it. When you talk about holding it, you're talking about locking it up. That's what we're talking about there. Well, it does go on because the thread does go on from there. Let me see if I can grab that really quickly. There's some other great stuff here. Then there was this. Andre said, one thing I've been thinking about is if XRP does moon and gets to 10,000, then transactions would be more expensive, yeah? So would there be an amendment to the transaction cost on the XRP ledger? David Schwartz comes in again. Now remember, we're talking about a $10,000 XRP in this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's been others out here that said we're not allowed to talk about this, David. We don't have their permission. However, he goes on to say the current minimum transaction fee is 10 drops. A drop is a millionth of an XRP. So even with no change in fees, if XRP somehow hit $10,000, the minimum transaction fee would be 10 cents. The minimum fee could be voted down to 1 drop. He goes on to say here, even further in the remarks, let's see this open up here very quickly. 1 second. I've got about 7,000 tabs open. He says, if you want to imagine a world where even a millionth of 1 XRP is too high a transaction fee, you could imagine 2 types of protocol changes. 1, you pay 1 drop and get some number of transaction credits that you can use for fees. 2, changes to increase XRP's divisibility. So saying you could make it more than 1 million drops to an XRP. You know what? I love this for all the people who tell me daily, try to tell me I'm not allowed to talk about a $10,000 XRP and the CTOs having a clear conversation rationally about the idea of one somehow hitting that level. And I think we all know somehow the ones smart enough in the room certainly understand how it gets there. If it wasn't a possibility, David would start there with the conversation, wouldn't he? And I guarantee you they already got modeling, which they can't speak to, simulation and modeling with the people in banks and things that they are working with. They know exactly what the XRP price should be once it's all 100% utility, volume, liquidity on the network. They can tell you exactly what it needs to be, because if they can't, they're not the right ones for the job. I bet you that much. Ripple right here says, we're excited to build on a partnership with Thune's Payments from Adi Jawawafa Bank, extending RippleNet services into Morocco and the greater Menya region. Come on in. We're glad to have you. Absolutely. This here is Fox Business News and Charles Gasparino breaking down the most recent victory and what's ahead for the SEC Ripple case. Take a listen here. Shout out to Tim for this.
He joins us now.
Okay, so why do we care about this case? This is sort of a precedent-setting crypto case. If the SEC can win and state that XRP, the native currency to Ripple's platform, their blockchain, so to speak, which performs cross-border payments, different currencies, or across borders excuse me, not of currencies, but of crypto. If they can win and say XRP was used as a security, well, then that opens the doors for a lot of regulation, including maybe Ethereum. Because Gary Gensler at the SEC has said he thinks Ethereum might be a security. And being a security means you're unregistered. That means you're essentially operating illegally. That opens the company up to a lot of damages, and it's really bad. It has sunk the price of XRP since they brought this case back in 2020. But that's a big if. It looks like, we're just all reading tea leaves here because everyone wants to follow this, that the SEC is starting to get its rear end handed to it a little bit. The judge is starting to side with Ripple on its case, and particularly on motions for discovery, including documents related to a guy named William Hinman, who's the head of corporation finance at the SEC, who was essentially part of the decision making on what is a security and what isn't during the Jay Clayton years. That's under Trump, which brought the case ultimately. The Enforcement Division brought the case. Hinman wasn't part of that, but he did give a famous speech where he said what was a security and what wasn't. He said Bitcoin wasn't a security. He actually said Ethereum wasn't a security. Everything else was subject to the SEC. The documents surrounding his decision making is key to this case. SEC wants to keep it under wraps, and now it's under Gary Gensler, who's still plowing ahead with this case because he wants to regulate crypto more vigorously. The judge recently said all those documents about involving Hinman's thought process can go to XRP and Ripple. They can look at that. This is why it's big. If you ever did a Freedom of Information Act with the SEC, you usually get back, what do they say?
Yeah.
Pound sand.
Good luck.
Yeah, pound sand. Well, here's part 2 of that very quickly here.
Usually get back act with the SEC. You usually get back, what do they say?
Yeah.
Pound sand.
Good luck, buddy.
Pound sand.
You get from the
They never want the sausage making process at the SEC disclosed. So of course they wanted to say the same here, and they've always gotten decent privileged grounds. This judge, Judge Torres, federal judge, is a little different, and I'm just saying that the case is looking better for Ripple. Not saying that they're going to win, but I'm saying it's looking better. From a trading standpoint, if Ripple does win, I know all the cryptos are under intense pressure, but you'll probably see XRP pop above this 32 cents,
Well, it's a warning. I'm not saying anything because I want to get beat up on Twitter if I even comment on this. So I'm just going to move on.
Does that happen? Oh yeah.
People that follow you on Twitter, if I'm involved, and I mean, they are rabid about this on Twitter. You have the followers all over it.
I will say the XRP people on Twitter are educated. They know their business. They know the court cases.
Okay, good.
I would say the AMC people on Twitter.
Maybe that's who came out. Yeah, it was the AMC.
Don't know couldn't find their rear end with both hands.
Thank you to Charles for acknowledging that. We are a smart bunch, I got to say. And thank you to Charles Gasparino and Cheryl Cassone and everybody at Fox Business that has made this story, something to cover. And I hope to hear more from Eleanor Tarrant on this. Now, we've got some even greater news that's coming in that is for the entire crypto space. And it's this gentleman right here. And I want to walk you through it, because this is massive to me, and I hope that it plays out exactly the way I foresee it here. And I want to be very clear. I do not think that Michael Esbar is planning to do anything inside or underhanded in favor of Ripple. I do not think that. Do not think that. But this is massive because the federal government has really just passed his approval and confirmation to be the next VP for the Federal Reserve Board. And this is massive because he will have major influence on crypto oversight here. Now, the reason I say that this is incredible because we know he is an ex-Ripple advisor. We know that he has the background that's needed. Well, so did Gary Gensler, and he took a 180-degree turn. So I hope that Michael Esbar does not do that. But I don't think that he will. And the reason I don't think that he will is because he's so versed on the relationship that has come together since 2017 with the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force and Ripple. And we remember also, as the years went on, last year we saw Craig DeWitt from Ripple brought on to the Faster Payments Council. And we know this is very important to follow the roots and the background of this. Where did Michael Esbar come from? He came from the U.S. Treasury. What did he do when he was at the U.S. Treasury before going to be a Ripple advisor? He helped write the Dodd-Frank Act. That's what happened. Now, let's not forget this little gem while we're talking. Just recently, a few days ago, 4 days ago, the Faster Payments Council announced that Ripple and the Faster Payments Council have launched a crypto payments survey designed to gauge the best blockchain and cryptocurrencies in payments. This is not a small matter. This is not, to me, mutually exclusive to the fact that Michael S. Barr is a former Ripple advisor. This is not exclusive to me that Michael S. Barr is formerly from the Treasury. This is not exclusive to me that not only is it that, but we also know that the Financial Stability Oversight Council, that I won't stop talking about, was created from the Dodd-Frank Act. And you know who helped be an architect to the Dodd-Frank Act? Michael Barr. He helped create FSOC, the exact group that I believe is going to label some of the most important protocols systemically important, or projects connected to them systemically important. This gentleman right here was an architect to the Dodd-Frank Act, which gave us FSOC. And that, I believe, as OFAC is as well, the domestic and foreign side of these two groups, will act to really make sure that the value protocols that are systemically important, that are non-bank institutions, will be brought in under a heightened prudential and overseen like some of these on this list, which we know the clearinghouse is already a partner with Ripple, working with Wells Fargo. Oh boy, I tell you, this to me is a huge signal that we are about to get crypto regulation at the very least for stable coins, and it may be coming a lot sooner than any of us think. And it may just be this former Ripple advisor that brings it to us, and that's not good for just Ripple. That's good for all of crypto. That's going to do it for me. Not financial advice, just my digital perspectives. I'll catch you on the next one.